Tag, very nice, very evil.
Yeah, that's tag shit.
Free fall as I dive through the kaleidoscope in my mind. No rope up to climb. Gotta remind myself that I'm fine. Mama, I don't really.
Oh, what up, world? What up, Tag Nation? What up, Ninja Village? What up, everybody out there? It's your boy ScooterRay, and I'm here with another review. Now, as you can see up on your screen, it was this past Sunday's Halloween Havoc from Hershey, PA. And of course, the show is brought to you by NXT, by the way of WWE. Now, this PLE was interesting. The matches were there, the content and the reason for these matches were there, but something just seemed to just fall short, fall flat. But you know what? Let's go ahead and go through it. Let's just go through it match by match. Let's talk about it. How Trick Williams say, let's talk about it. So your first match of the night was for the North American Championship in a tables, ladders, and scares. Oh my. You had Tony D defending against Oba Femi. Bars, by the way. Now, this is the rematch because, you know, Tony D beat Oba. This was the rematch. It was spin the wheel, make the deal. It landed on tables, ladders, and scares. And I don't know. The elements was there, but I think what it is, and I'm going to tell y'all my theory real quick. For the longest, we was used to seeing NXT in Orlando. The first 2 weeks of it premiering on the CW, they went to Chicago, they went to St. Louis, and for the longest time, we've only ever seen NXT in big arenas during the PLEs. We got used to seeing in a small scape, in a small situation. So I think, personally speaking, I think with them doing the first 2 episodes in big arenas and then switching back, it may have knocked some of the luster from the PLE. It may have. That's just me. But also, almost every match was some sort of rematch or rematch adjacent, except for except for Ridge Holland and Andre Chase. But pretty much everything has kind of been a rematch or rematch adjacent. Once again, Tony D, Oba Femi. Tables, ladder, scares. This was so weird because when Oba and Tony D first went at it, Oba won. Tony went on this whole thing about, I don't think I can do it. I don't know, blah, blah, blah. He went through this whole Rocky training monologue. Nope, that's not the word. That's not the phrase I'm looking for. Montage training so he can topple Oba. When this match happens, it started off normal because, I mean, it's tables, ladder, scares. The hardcore elements was there, this and that, but boom. But then the family just runs in. And it's like, wait, what happened to this whole, oh, Tony, I can do it myself. I have to topple Oba. I have to prove to myself that I can do this. And now all of a sudden, Luca, Stacks, and Rizzo comes in. Of course, Oba, handles those two. And then when he was about to, whatever he was going to do with Rizzo, Tony spears him through the ring, through a ladder. Then it set up the family to kind of, Oba recovers. Then it set up the family to kind of do more damage. They did do a nice chair-assisted shatter machine. Ultimately, Tony D retains. The whole family. It took the whole family to defeat Oba. And I was just sitting there like, wow, that's what we doing? But it's fine. It's whatever. Tony D retains. And I'm pretty sure this is it. Tony D can move on as North American champ. Oba Femi either, because there's rumors now that he may be getting called up sooner than later, or potentially go for the NXT championship. I don't know, but yeah. Next match, arguably, probably my favorite match of the night. You have Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade versus Julia and Stephanie Vaquera. Them four ladies went out there and had them a nice little tag team match. I appreciated this match. Of course, when I say rematch adjacent, we knew Roxanne and Julia went one-on-one on the premiere on CW, rematch adjacent, with Cora helping out Roxanne to win. But this was a good match. It actually provided excitement. It actually provided entertainment. I knew the team of Julia and Stephanie was going to end up pulling it out, but hey, it's still, you just didn't know. I mean, you know, sometimes the expected may not happen. But this was actually a pretty good match. They did some tag team moves, and if I remember correctly, Stephanie actually pinned Roxanne to win. So arguably, this was to me, the match of the night. Hands down. These four ladies went out there and did the damn thing. I wonder, is it going to now lead to potentially Stephanie going against Roxanne? Maybe Julia may feel away if Stephanie ends up winning, because it's like, well, damn, how is it that you can beat her, but I can't? I don't know. We'll see. But if there's any match that I will say to watch, this will be the one to watch. Hands down. There's another 2, I will say for sure, because it was 5 matches. There's another 2 I would say, but for sure, Roxanne and Cora versus Julia and Stephanie, hands down match of the night for me. Hands down. After this match, we did get a sighting of Zarya. She was standing up there in the Raptors looking down on the ladies like, I see whomst I have to defeat to be that chick around here. And then boom, she disappeared. And you know, Stephanie and Julia was like, hey, we're gonna still celebrate because we got them big dubs of the night. Next match of the night, which I really wish it would have had more just oomph to it, because it had the makings of being the most emotional match of the night. You had an ambulance match between Andre Chase of Chase U versus Ridge Holland. Now, of course, you know, when Chase and Ridge lost the tag titles, Ridge Holland systematically took out all of Chase U. And, you know, he's been cutting promos, running promos, saying that they're losers. They can win the big ones, but they can never do anything with it. Blah, 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 rah, rah, rah. And from that, he's been systematically taking out all the Chase U members. It started with Duke, while, of course, Thea was there. It started with, it went next to Riley. And before he could fully take out Riley, Andre Chase did come back. And that's how we got here. Now, I understand they somewhat didn't want to do the same thing they did the first match. But if any match that warrant the interference, it would have been this. There was no Duke. There was no Riley. And most importantly, where was Thea? If anybody, Thea should have been there. But I mean, it was an okay match. They did what they needed to do, especially dealing with the ambulance match and their rules. It was okay. The finish was so flat. Like, the finish was just Ridge getting the better of Andre. He hit his finisher, threw him in the ambulance, and closed it. And it was like, huh? And then you see in the image of Andre kind of waking up from being dazed, tapping on the glass as if like, fam, you can get out this vehicle, I guess, or whatever. But it was just flat. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, it was just a flat victory. Like, there was no oomph to it. There was no weight to it. It was just Ridge won, y'all. And from where earlier in the night, when Bubba Ray Dudley and think it's Dave. I don't know how to say that man's name. LaGreca. I think that's how you say it. They kind of got into it on the pre-show, and then they did it again when they kind of cut to them to kind of talk. It was kind of like basically Ridge telling them that he could do it, blah blah blah, and it was like, okay, it seems like they're trying to do something here. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like they're trying to start something here, especially with Bubba and Ridge. Then it just kind of came to where it just was like, all right, we're here. And essentially, literally, the show kept going on. Another match that's worth looking at was the Women's North American Championship Gauntlet. So originally, when Fatal Influence spun the wheel, it landed on their choice. Well, at the start of the show, like kind of pre-show, they decided it was going to be a gauntlet match. That Kalani had to beat Jasmine, then she had to beat JC, then she had to beat Finley. Now, of course, Fallon. I didn't combine her first and last name. So Jasmine, JC, Fallon. Now, of course, at any time the match could have ended. So if Jasmine would have pinned Kalani, Jasmine would have been champ, same as JC. But of course, WWE, the way it's going to go, it was going to go the distance. And Kalani, she was doing the damn thing. She had a nice little match with Fallon. Jasmine ended up beating Jasmine. She had a nice little match with JC. Of course, JC being more the aggressor and more of aggression type style against Kalani, but eventually she ended up beating JC, and of course JC kind of attacked her before Fallon came. And this is where things got a little screwy in St. Louis. Now, the whole time there was no Fatal Influence, but now Jasmine and JC happen to just circle the block, come back around, cause all of this havoc, no pun intended, which eventually led to 1, 2, 3, and new Women's North American Champion, Fallon Henley. Yep, Fallon Henley got the belt. She is now the second woman to hold the Women's North American Championship. And after that, they were celebrating. The lights go out. Zaria's music hits again. She's popped up behind them, and she laid waste to all three of the ladies. And it was like, ooh. So maybe Zaria may be going after Fatal Influence to get that belt. I don't know, but it seems like she's dominant enough to potentially take on all three women, if you ask me. Yeah. Another moment that happened was the crate Tatum Paxley that was locked in. She popped out the crate. She was telling Ava, I want a match against Wendy, and she spun the wheel and it landed on a casket match. So on NXT Tuesday, Tatum Paxley, Wendy Chu, and a casket match. And for your main event for the NXT Championship, we got the champ, Trick Willie Wonka, Trick Williams versus All Ego Ethan Page in a Devil's Playground. Essentially, they let it be known that this match can happen anywhere. Falls are anywhere, no rules, all the bells and whistles can happen. Now, this is one aspect of the match I was kind of pissed at. They mentioned so many times that this match can end any and everywhere, and it ended in the ring. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disappointed. I was a little. I ain't gonna say little. I was a lot of disappointed. A lot of disappointed that as much as they were saying that they could, because I mean they did fight into the audience. They did kind of fight around, but as much as they kept saying any and everything can happen in this match, it ended in the ring. Now, this was not a bad match. The unfortunate with this match is this is the fourth time we have seen these men fight each other. Battleground, it was 1-on-1. Heat Wave, Fatal 4-Way. NXT TV, 1-on-1, where Trick won the belt back from Ethan. And then now, Halloween Havoc, the fourth time. It was not a bad match. These two actually have pretty good chemistry, but once again, this is the fourth time we have seen these men fight. Third time being 1-on-1. It might start to get a tad bit stale, but with the aspect of the Devil Playground rules, they was able to, do hardcore, this, that, and the third, just to kind of spice it up a bit, not make it so bland. And another aspect was, Ethan Page was all with the whole, hey, I've been grinding, I've been doing this for years. Trick, you didn't have to do what I had to do. Have you even tasted your own blood? Blah, blah, blah. So at some point, he did bust Trick, I want to say with the steel steps or something. Trick was bleeding from the mouth. And then just like with the Ridge Holland and Andre Chase match, and kind of a little bit of the Tony D and Oba match, all of a sudden, when the ending happened, it was like counter, boom, Trick knee, 1, 2, 3. Wait, what? Like, it just happened. And it was like, okay. And you can tell something was supposed to happen because it felt like a stall for time. Trick is celebrating. Eventually, Ridge Holland comes out, starts beating up on Trick. Ethan wakes up and was like, Ridge, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And Ridge was like, I'm trying to, stake my claim. Ethan was like, well, hey, if you gonna do it, make sure you do it right and just do it. So they kind of both jumping up on, they're both jumping on Trick, and then in comes Bubba Ray Dudley for the save. Bubba Ray for the save. Yeah, you heard me. Hall of Famer, one half of the Dudley Boys. Bubba Ray Dudley comes to save. He dispatches Trick, and Ethan, Bubba, and Trick are kind of celebrating. I'm pretty sure, because in 2 weeks, they're going to be at the old ECW arena in Philly. I will not be surprised if we get Trick Williams, Bubba Ray Dudley versus Ethan Page and Ridge Holland, which I'm pretty sure is probably going to lead to the next PLE of Trick versus Ridge. And we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that was pretty much Halloween Havoc as a whole. Like, it was not the best of shows, and it was not the worst of shows. There has been better NXT PLEs, and there's been worse. This one kind of falls in the middle, but it falls in the low middle, in my opinion. But once again, this is my opinion. You feel how you feel, and it's okay to feel how you feel. Shout outs to the Brethren's Lip Dizzle, Jaeger Bombastic, and Juggernaut 097. Shout outs to my less than stealthy ninjas of Run Your Miss and Cosmic Boss. And shout out to the lovely lady in my life, Mrs. Ladybug, who always tends to watch these shows with me. Thank y'all for tuning in, and whether you loved it or hated it, don't forget to rate it thumbs up, thumbs down, preferably thumbs up. Like, share, comment. Let us know what you thought about Halloween Havoc. When you do all of that, you gotta hit that subscribe button. Then you got to tag that notification so you can be notified of all type of videos, all types, all of them on this Tag Nation, on this tag. And once you do it, you're welcome into the Tag Nation. Until next time, everybody, love one another, take care of one another, love yourself, and take care of yourself. And until next time, you got to tag out. Peace.